also. You can remember that Bhishma Deva was actually saying that if a person is protected by Dharma, Achyuta and Vipra, then he should not suffer in this material world. This is the rule of this material world. That if a person is protected by Dharma, Achyuta and Vipra, then he should not suffer in this material world. Now look at the Pandavas. Yudhishthira is Dharma personified, and Achyuta is personally with them. And they are always constantly protected by the Brahmanas. And then they suffer so much. Then what is Bhishma Deva's conclusion?
So Lord's will.
He said this should be the plan of the Lord. So in spite of all this, if they are suffering, then this should be the plan of the Lord. The Lord actually wants to show something, so it's the plan of the Lord. So in that case, it's just the plan of the Lord. As much as in this case, it's also the plan of the Lord. In that case also, it is just the plan of the Lord. Okay, please read.
If the authorities of or the leader of the society do not give a special respect to the Brahmanas and Vaishnavas and do not offer them not only sweet word but all facility, then the path of progress will be lost to human civilization. The Lord personally wants to teach this, and therefore He offered so much praise to the Maharaj.
So at least we should offer sweet words to the Brahmana. If not, we have anything to offer, but at least we should offer some sweet words to the Brahmana. Okay.
It's interesting, Prabhupada mentions Devapatam is royal roads to demigods.
Yeah.
And then he's saying demigods are supposed to be fully fixed in devotional service.
Supposed to. Because they are appointed agents of the Lord.
But then in all previous chapter we see their Sakama
Bhagavatam has a certain
way of
putting things, because Bhagavatam doesn't want you to become attached to demigods. You know, that if Bhagavatam glorifies, oh, Indra is great and Indra is such a nice guy, and you know, being Indra is so special, then naturally what you start thinking? You start thinking that I want to become Indra. But Indra is like temple president. Everybody blames him.
Yes.
Everybody blames him. And nobody likes him. And those people around him who are telling him, oh, you are great, they also have something to get done from him. So Indra's position is very precarious.
So here the Devapant actually means then Supreme Lord.
Yeah. Okay, please read.
We should try to understand the appearance of Lord Krishna in this spirit. As the Kumaras prayed to him, he is eternally a coward boy at Vrindavan. He is externally the leader of the battle of Kurukshetra, and he is eternally the opulent prince of Dwaraka and the lover of the damsels of Vrindavan. All his appearance are meaningful because they show his real characteristics to the conditioned souls who have forgotten their relationship with the Supreme Lord. He does everything for the benefit. The force exhibited in the battlefield of Kurukshetra by the desire of Krishna and through the agency of Arjuna was also necessary, because when people become too religious, force is required. Non-violence in this respect is rational down.
Yeah, whenever there is force is required, then force should be utilized. And the Lord is manifested as many, like in Dwaraka, in Vrindavan, as the Lord of Kurukshetra in the battlefield. So he is manifested as many, and each of these manifestations are meaningful. Like for example, Vishnu wanted to go to Vaikuntha, where the Lord is eternally present as Parthasarathi in his fighting form, because Bhishma Deva was relating the Lord in Virya Rasa. He likes to fight with the Lord. He was related to the Lord in Virya Rasa, and then he was throwing arrows and it was hurting the Lord. And Prabhupada quotes Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur in the purport, and then says that the arrows of Bhishma are like what?
Love bite.
Huh?
Love bite.
Love bite. He says biting of a lover. They are like the biting of a lover. When a lover becomes very intense, like when a mother, she wants to, express some intense love for the child, she goes and tells the child, I'm going to eat your cheek.
Yes.
She tells her like, I'm going to eat your cheek. And then she goes and bites the cheek. Ba, 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 ba. See, your cheek is gone, she says. The child touches the cheek, whether it's there or not. So, this is simply out of love. That it's not Chakravarti Thakur's called love bite. Okay. Please read.
The sages, the four Kumaras, now reject their cursing of the two door keepers, Jai and Vijay, because they are now conscious that person who engage in the service of the Lord cannot be at fault at any stage.
You see?
It is said that anyone who has implicit faith in the service of the Lord, or who actually engaged in transcendental loving service, has all the good qualities of the demigods. Therefore, a devotee cannot be at fault if sometimes it is found that he is in error by accident or by some temporary arrangement that should not be taken very seriously. The cursing of Jai and Vijay is here repented. Now the Kumars are thinking in terms of their positions in the modes of passion and ignorance, and they are prepared to accept any kind of punishment from the Lord. In general, when dealing with devotees, we should not try to find faults.
See, this is a very important instruction Prabhupada gives. That unless it is our service to find fault with devotees, we should not try to find fault with devotees. In general, we should not try to observe the fault in devotees. Generally, we should not do that. Unless it is an important aspect of our service, like sometimes we have to protect someone, then we have to make sure that that person is there with the proper set of devotees. Then we need to actually see that, okay, these devotees they are proper or not, or this environment is proper or not. Or sometimes you have a service responsibility that you have to take and manage a few devotees. Then you have to see that those devotees don't have any fault. Then even if they make a mistake, then we have to correct them. So either we have a natural position of authority, or somebody gives us a position of authority. Natural position of authority means that you are appointed to some position, or we are like a father, mother, elderly relative, or a Siksha Guru. This kind of position we have. These are all natural positions of authority. Then we need to see that whether there is some fault in somebody, that so that we can actually correct and benefit them. Even that we should see from the perspective of benefiting them, not in the perspective of condemning people. Oh, this is your fault. You are in Maya. You are not fit for Krishna consciousness. You are useless guy. No, it's not like that. We simply see because we have to correct them and we should cause some benefit to them. So from that perspective, otherwise we should be blind to the fault of devotees. Unless it is necessary for us in our service that we should find fault or we should see the fault. Otherwise, we should simply be blind to the fault of devotees. Long time back, I had some problem with another devotee. And then I went to my Siksha Guru. And then I told that, you people are trying to make this devotee very responsible. And we don't like him because he's so like this, like this, like this. So my Siksha Guru heard very patiently whatever I said. Then he gave me one advice. And that advice I am still now following. He said that Harilila, devotees have their Krishna consciousness, devotees have their defect. Nobody is perfect. If you want to progress in life, you associate with their Krishna consciousness. If you want to regress in life, you associate with their faults. It's your choice what you want to do. So, if we really want to progress, we should associate with the Krishna consciousness of devotees. Every devotee is a combination, except pure devotees who are great personalities. Every devotee is a combination of some Krishna consciousness and some fault. Somebody may have more fault, less Krishna consciousness. Somebody may have less fault, more Krishna consciousness. Doesn't matter. But if we associate with the Krishna consciousness of devotees, then we can progress in life. It's a nice pastime of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. That Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur's disciple, one person, he was actually bringing 1 rupee every month from a donor. And at that time, 1 rupee was big money. It's not like small money. Every month from the donor, not 1 rupee, 10 rupees from the donor. Every month he used to bring. And that donor was a businessman in Calcutta, Bada Bazaar. And Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, this guy is giving every month 10 rupees. Why don't you bring him here? I can give him some nice instruction. I can preach to him. Then this disciple, he went to the businessman and then he said that my Guru Maharaj wants to see you. Please come to Gaudiya Math. Then he said, he wants to see, I will definitely come. Then he came to Gaudiya Math. And then when he came to Gaudiya Math, that time he saw two brahmacharis. They were wearing gamcha and they were trying to hit each other with chair. And then he thought, what is this? This is like Bada Bazaar. So he went back. So Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur asked his disciple that what happened to this guy? He was supposed to come. Why he didn't come? Then he went and asked him that you were supposed to come and meet our Guru Maharaj on such and such day. Why you didn't come? He said, yeah, I came. So then why you didn't meet our Guru? He said, yeah, I came, but I saw that two brahmacharis standing in gamcha and then trying to hit each other with chair. This I can see in Bada Bazaar itself. Why should I come to Gaudiya Math to see this? Then this guy didn't know what to do. He went back to Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. He said, this is what the Seth is saying. That when he came, he saw this and then he went back. So then Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur told, never mind, call him again. So he came, next time he met. So Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur asked him, so you came last time? He said, yes. What happened? Why you did not see me? He said, Swamiji, I came here, but I saw some not very nice scenes, so I went back. I was not very inspired, so I went back. He said, what you saw? He said, I saw two brahmacharis, they're wearing gamcha, and they're trying to hit each other with chair. I can see this in Bada Bazaar daily. People fighting like this. I thought, why should I come to this place? Then Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur asked him one question. And that question we should remember for the rest of our life. What is the question? He asked him, did you come here to do Bhagavad Darshan or did you come here to do Dosh Darshan?
Dosh darshan.
Dosh Darshan. Did you come here to see the Lord or did you come here to see the faults? It's a very important question we should remember in our life. Why did we come to ISKCON? Did we come here to do Bhagavad Darshan or did we come here to do Dosh Darshan? If you want to do Dosh Darshan, then there's millions of opportunity to do Dosh Darshan. But ISKCON is not meant for that. ISKCON is meant for Bhagavad Darshan. Our intention is to see Krishna. This material world is full of faults. It is not surprising that we will find faults in this material world because Krishna has certified this place as Dukkhalayam Ashashvatam. And Krishna has told that Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadi Dukkha Dosha Anudosha. This place is full of Dukkha and Dosha. There is nothing great that there are faults here. There is nothing great that there are faults here. But we have to make a choice that what we want to see. If we want to see Krishna, then we should endeavor to see Krishna. If we want to see fault, it naturally comes to us. Naturally comes to us because we are full of faults and very easy to find fault with others. So that's why Prabhupada is giving very important instruction. He is saying, in general, when dealing with devotees, we should not try to find fault.
Even for the senior devotees?
Senior, junior, middle. But I explained before that if it's part of your service, you should do it. But in general, we should not try to find fault.
Isn't the service of the senior devotees to help the junior to grow?
If they are authorities, if they are accepted as authorities. I said that if you are a senior who is accepted as authority, I can't just say, okay, I am senior devotee, you are junior devotee, I am going to find fault with you. It doesn't work like that.
Yeah, of course.
It doesn't work like that. If a person is accepted as authority, then it's fine. Like for example, I come to teach something in this class. So, for the class time, due to the arrangement of the institution, then the students have accepted me as teacher. So within the class, if somebody does something wrong, I have the right to point out that, oh, what you are doing is wrong. But that is within the limit of the class. Because outside the class, that authority doesn't hold. So we have to understand how authority works in Krishna consciousness. Authority works in Krishna consciousness when it is given to you. Authority doesn't work in Krishna consciousness when you take it by yourself. By Krishna's arrangement, authority is given to us naturally when we are father, when we are mother, when we are elderly relative, when we are spiritual master. Then this is natural arrangement of delegation of authority by Krishna. By Shastra, we have that authority. But or otherwise, authority is given by some higher authority. Like someone appoints you, okay, you take responsibility for this department, or you take responsibility for this service. You become the temple president, or you become the committee member, whatever it is. Someone is appointing you, putting you in a particular position. Then that position comes with a certain authority, and that authority can be taken. The principle of authority in Krishna consciousness is authority cannot be assumed by ourselves. Authority has to be given either by Shastra or by higher authorities. And when that is not given, then we should not see the faults in devotees. It's clear? So, what is the defect of the Kumaras? The defect of the Kumaras is that they took authority in their hands. And they are realizing that we should not have taken authority in our hands. Because they are dealing with people who are more exalted than them. Okay, let's read more translations.
The Lord replied, O Brahmanas, now that the punishment you inflicted on them was originally ordained by me, and therefore they will fall to a birth in a demonic family, but they will be firmly united with me in thought through mental concentration, intensified by anger, and they will return to my presence shortly.
So now he is saying that it's okay, don't worry about it. It's my plan that they should be.
Lord Brahma said, after seeing the Lord of Vaikuntha, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, in the self-illuminated Vaikuntha planet, the sages left that transcendental abode.
So the sages now finished, they went back. Okay.
No punishment to the sages?
No.
The sages circumvented the Supreme Lord, offered their obeisances and returned, extremely at learning of the divine opulence of the Vaishnava.
The Lord then said to his attendants, Jaya and Vijaya, depart this place, but fear not. All glory is unto you. Though I am capable of nullifying the Brahmana's curse, I would not do so. On the contrary, without my approval.
So the Lord said, all glories to you. So it means that nothing is going to happen to them. Prabhupada explains that. Nothing is going to happen to them. Okay.
The departure from Vaikuntha was foretold by Lakshmi, the goddess of fortune. She was very angry because when she left my abode and then returned your stopped at the gate while I was sleeping.
So there is some previous history to this, history behind this. That why? Because it is Lakshmi's anger that actually acted now.
But why did they stop Lakshmi ji? She's wife.
We can ask Jaya Vijaya when we
When
go
I
back.
go back, I'll talk.
Why did you stop the wife from getting into the husband's quarters? What is this? But then
I'm no authority.
in Vishnu temples, you find that normally in Vishnu temples, you find that normally that the Lord is in his place and
The consort is
the
different.
consort is in her place.
Not place, not together.
And they don't like regularly come together. And when they come together, it's really a festival. It's like in Srirangam they call it Seti Seva. Seti Seva means the Lord and the consort they come together. That is a huge festival. But normally, Lord is in his place and the consort is in her place. Normally it's like. Okay, please read.
The Lord assured that two Vaikuntha inhabitants, Jaya and Vijaya, by practicing the mystic yoga system in anger, you will be cleansed of the sins of disobeying the Brahmanas and within a very short time return to me.
Okay.
Thus, speaking at the door of Vaikuntha, the Lord returned to his abode, where there are many celestial airplanes and all surpassing wealth and splendor.
But those two gatekeepers, the best of the demigods, their beauty and luster diminished by the curse of the Brahmanas, became morose and fell from Vaikuntha, the abode of the Supreme Lord.
Then as Jaya and Vijaya fell from the Lord's abode, a great roar of disappointment arose from all the demigods who were sitting in their splendid airplanes.
Lord Brahma continued, those two principal doorkeepers of the personality Godhead have now entered the womb of Diti, the powerful semen of Kashyap Muni having covered them.
Oh,
That's
so Brahma knows that.
Yeah.
It is the prowess of these twin asuras demons that has disturbed you, for it has minimized your power. There is no remedy within my power. However, it is the Lord himself who desires to do all this.
My dear son, the Lord is the controller of the three moods of the nature and it is responsible for the creation, perversions and dissolutions of the universe. His wonderful creative power, Yoga Maya, cannot be easily understood, even by the master of yoga. That most ancient person, the personality of Godhead, will alone come to our rescue. What purpose can we serve on his behalf by deliberating on the subject?
Yeah. So I said there is no point talking about this also. Just wait, the Lord ourselves will come for our rescue. And then we can be rescued. So that makes
Just
us
in
to
the
that.
previous text, the Kumaras are saying, Lord, you offer punishment whatever you want
Mm.
to the gatekeepers and
Us.
to me.
Yeah.
But why to the gatekeepers, Lord, you offer punishment whatever you want?
They are saying that you are independent, you can do whatever you want. They are saying that our punishment to the gatekeepers is withdrawn.
Okay.
So they are saying if you want to punish the gatekeepers, if you think, because the Lord spoke as if the gatekeepers have done a mistake.
Okay.
So he's saying if you want to punish the gatekeepers, then you do it, or if you want to punish us, then you do it. So whatever you find is, whoever is you find is at fault, you please go ahead and punish them.
The Kumaras still did not understand that Lord was glorifying the gatekeeper.
Yeah, of course they understood. No, they said no, that we understood that we have
Yeah.
cursed two faultless persons. That's all they said.
But then they're saying, okay, it's still.
But they are not interfering in what the Lord wants to do anymore. They don't want to interfere in what the Lord wants to do. They are saying that you do what you want to do. Okay, please read.
It is to be understood that there was a plan in the cursing of the Lord's devotee, and his plan is explained by many stalwart authorities. The Lord sometimes desired to fight. The fighting spirit also exists to the Supreme Lord. Otherwise, how could fighting be manifested at all? Because the Lord is the source of everything anger and fighting are also inherent in his personality. When he decides to fight with someone, he has to find an enemy. But in the Vaikuntha world, there is no enemy because everyone is engaged fully in his service. Therefore, he sometimes comes to the material world as an incarnation in order to manifest his fighting spirit.
So the Lord wanted to fight. Okay.
Thus, Jaya and Vijaya were selected by the Lord to fight with him in the material world. And that was the reason the sages came to see him, and accidentally the doorkeepers were cursed. It was the Lord's desire to send them to the material world, not
Perpetually.
perpetually, but for some time. Therefore, just as on a
Theatrical stage.
satirical stage, someone takes the part of enemy to the proprietor of the stage. Although the play is for a short time and there is no permanent enmity between the servant and the proprietor. So the Surajanas, devotees, were cursed by the sages to go to the Asurajana or atheistic family. That a devotee should come into an atheistic family is surprising, but it is simply a show. After finishing their mock fighting, both the devotee and the Lord are again associated in the spiritual planet. That is very explicitly explained here. The conclusion is that no one falls from the spiritual world or Vaikuntha planet, for it is the eternal abode. But sometimes, as the Lord desires, devotees come into this material world as preachers or as atheists.
Okay, so this is the plan of the Lord. So he wanted to fight. So he arranged for this whole drama. And Prabhupada says this is just like a drama. And we can see that in the next few chapters we'll have to actually see that it's a drama. Because the Lord is simply having a nice time fighting with the Hiranyaksha. And everybody's in tension. Lord is not in tension. Lord is fighting and he also drops his weapon. So many things happen. We'll find. It's very fine. It's very nice. Yeah.
Just a little question. Normally we understand that when a Brahmana pronounces something or a curse, specifically, he cannot really withdraw it.
Yeah.
So he has to arrange with it.
Correct.
Here in this context, the Kumara says we reject it. Does that
No, but they don't want, they are saying, but the Lord doesn't withdraw the curse. No, he says that your curse is valid. But he just modifies it to 3 lifetimes. That's it. He is not withdrawing the curse.
So that one is there, 7 lifetime devotee, 3 lifetime, that not in Bhagavatam. No?
What is that?
That you want to take 7 lifetime.
You don't find that here.
Not in Bhagavatam.
Don't find it.
People quote it.
It is true, but don't find it in Bhagavatam. Okay. Please read.
Especially in Vaishnava temples, there is an arrangement for people to offer their respects to the deity and circumambulate the temple at least 3 times.
So the idea of circumambulating is very good. Okay.
Ordinarily, there is no possibility that the 4 sages could be so angry with the doorkeepers, nor could the Supreme Lord neglect his 2 doorkeepers, nor can one come back from Vaikuntha after once taking birth there. All these incidents therefore were designed by the Lord for the sake of his pastime in the material world. Thus, he plainly says that it was done with his approval, otherwise it would have been impossible for inhabitants of Vaikuntha to come back to the material world simply because of Brahminical curse. The Lord especially blesses the so-called culprit. All glory is unto you. A devotee once accepted by the Lord can never fall down. That is the conclusion of this incident.
Yeah, so the devotee is accepted by the Lord and he doesn't fall down. Okay, please read.
Srila Madhva Muni remarks, this is Madhvacharya.
Yeah.
Srila Madhva Muni remarks in this connection that by practicing Bhakti Yoga, one can become free from all sinful reactions